I'm 16 when my father calls one night and tells me that he's getting married again. I'm surprised. I haven't seen him in a long time. It's not to your mother, he says, because she's dead. That, he says, and other reasons. My father sent me and my siblings away during an unprecedented period of wealth in the mid-90s. He sat us down in a train with a case of gold bullion and said we could come back when we could lift it, which I thought was insensitive as 2 of my brothers had polio. He kept his hand over his eyes so he couldn't see the train's destination and disappeared into the crowd. Who are you marrying? I ask him. You don't know them. He tells me that I have to come because it's on a boat and it'll be very intimate. I take a train to the coast. I like to think it's the same train that he abandoned us on. I like the idea so much that I write it down in my journal and put a star next to it, which means good idea. I write it too in a notebook I brought because I'm planning on destroying my journal by throwing it into the ocean at some point in my visit. I was going to put a wedding gift in the empty case, which used to have the gold in it, but I didn't want to get too sentimental, and plus I still can't lift it properly. I wait for more than an hour before my father arrives. Why are you dressed like that? He asks. I thought it was a wedding. It is a wedding. Here. Here she is, he says. Isn't she beautiful? She's Latin. She's a big girl, tall and strong-boned and round in a lot of places where you imagine a woman is meant to be round. Super tall. Tall like she'd been cut from God's original clay to hold up a corner of the earth. Hello, she says in a deep voice. It's nice to meet you. I ask, where's everybody else, though I know there's no point. A perfect day. I always said that you don't need a priest to get married. It's all up here. He wasn't lying, he did say that a lot. Hey, in that box there's an air horn to keep the sharks away. You gotta blow it every 30 minutes or they'll tear the ship apart. Today, I write, I was swallowed by a giant shark out here on the ocean. I've lived for a while in its guts, but there's no air and lots of bacteria. This will be my last entry. The dress is frayed at the breast. It's an old move of my father's. I blow the air horn again to cut the tension. You don't need to do that anymore. The sharks have all gone to sleep. I realize that my father's right and that she is beautiful in her way. In the way that anger is beautiful, I guess. In a way that lions are beautiful or something like that. I had no mother either, she says. I had a mother. She just died. That's sad. Were you sad? No, I say, it was pretty cool. My mother used to say that it didn't matter what you did in life because the only person who can judge you in the end is God, and he's the biggest crook of us all. I tried to convince the cemetery to allow it as her epitaph, but in the end they went with my father's preference. You don't have to be dead to be buried here, but it helps. At first light I take my journal and I throw it into the sea. I want it to sink and I want all the words in it to run into the currents. I want the pages to decay and get pulled out by the teeth of fish and the skin of it to sit in the coral with the crabs and mussels living in it and sea cucumbers stuck to its spine. But it floats there and it doesn't move. No sharks swallow it. It doesn't get caught in the shell of a giant majestic turtle or even the blowhole of a dolphin or anything. So when it gets close enough, I catch it back up in a net and lay it out on the deck to dry in the morning sun.